Hi, everyone. We are live following the
what? A minute early, considering most people are like, "Where are we?" Last I checked, my Apple computer tells me it's 5:14.
How about that? Big Dolphins win 42-21 against the Carolina Panthers, even though it didn't probably follow the script that most had expected. I would imagine most expected Dolphins to dominate from the start. Bottom line is they got to their convincing victory one way or the other. For the record, on alldolphins.com in my game preview Saturday morning, I had the Dolphins winning by 20, 33-13. They won by 21. So, yes, I'm going to pat myself on the back. Again, this was a case of clearly two teams in different classes. Please tell me I'm wrong, Omar. Tell me I'm wrong.
You didn't get scared? You didn't get nervous about trailing 14-0?
No, because there was so much time left, and it wasn't like maybe also the way the Dolphins' first two drives ended, it wasn't like it was calamitous. It wasn't like they were getting destroyed at the line of scrimmage. The first drive, I think Carolina sealed the edge on second and 8 or whatever. Mostert lost 2 yards, and on third down, it was a short completion. And then that second drive, that 3rd and 1, with maybe the most butt-ugly play the Dolphins have run in years.
Another failed 3rd and 1. And I'm being serious because, honestly, I did the pregame show and I was driving over. I get here nearly in the in second quarter. So I didn't see the first two drives.
Oh, my Lord, you got to see the replay. It's 3rd and 1, maybe less than a yard. They have Tua kind of take the snap and make a little motion forward like he's going to quarterback sneak it. Then he pulls back, throws backwards to Raheem Mostert out in the flat, except the throw is completely off the mark. Mostert retrieves it, gets pushed out of bounds for a 9-yard loss. And again, it's 3rd and less than a yard. Can we just not go straight ahead with somebody?
No, apparently not. Clearly not. And I've said this: the short yardage stuff and the goal-to-go stuff is if I had to criticize what looks like it's a record-setting offense in NFL history, it would be that. And I'm like, I don't know how you fix that, because just play with power. Like, you don't think Alec Ingold, I'm sure he could do Lusaka Polite did for the duration of his career.
Or how about mixing some power with your finesse? Because this is a finesse team. By the way, so I got some folks asking about Chris Brooks. Mike McDaniel, shockingly enough, was very vague in talking about him, saying he didn't have. If you saw the replay, you got a guy basically landing on his leg, bending it backward around the ankle. Didn't look great.
I saw him walking in the locker room, and
it didn't look great.
And Renzo basically was like, "Yo, bro, put your boot on." And I got in the locker room. He was walking. So
put your boot on as in a walking boot?
No, he had no walking boot on. He was told when I got in there, he was told, "Go put your walking boot on." But he was walking fine.
Okay, but so they gave him a walking boot. Okay.
I don't know. I didn't see a walking boot.
Okay. Here's the other point, too. I love Chris Brooks. I love Chris Brooks. Not like the Dolphins are making him a factor. I mean, the dude barely got in the game until the 4th quarter. So,
I mean, hold on, but he was doing some blocking work. He was doing the Alec Ingold blocking and stuff.
How many snaps did he play in the first 3 quarters? Like,
he's an undrafted rookie. How many snaps do you want him to play?
My point is that I want him to be fine. I want him to be available and healthy for next Sunday against the Eagles. If he's not, I don't want anybody to think, well, that's a big loss. Dolphins are going to have to overcome that. Because, again,
they're getting Jeff Wilson back next week.
Yeah, one would think.
Oh, well, somebody's got to go on IR, which
maybe, or they make a move. And again, in terms of injuries, let's knock those off right away. Xavien Howard left with a groin injury. Again, shockingly left. Mike McDaniel didn't have an update after the game. That's more reasonable, I should say.
I think it's harsh to criticize him, and this is just something like we don't know about injuries until the day after, when guys are waking up and you see how sore it is. And some guys, I remember some guys will go to the facility and sit in the hot tub, cold tub right after the game and get treatment right after the game. Now, it used to be they have to drive all the way to Davie. Now, literally, they just drive across the street, which is thank you, Steve Ross.
Except here's the point, the important point is I related to other coaches around the league who will often say, doesn't look good, this looks bad, doesn't look like it's anything. And obviously that's not McDaniel's MO. He doesn't want to jump the gun or say anything like that, but let's just say he's on the very secretive side when it comes to injuries. If we're talking about coaches around the NFL.
Oh, bro, we've been way more secretive around here.
No.
we have been way more secretive around here about injuries. I don't know. Let's address the run game. And there was a lot of people who were concerned that the run game would have a drastic drop off without Devon Achane. It wasn't as spectacular and sensational as it has been in the past. But Raheem Mostert certainly showed you, I'm still this team's lead back. 3 touchdowns today, 115 rushing yards, a big 49-yard run. The one thing that I will say is I expected way more from Xavien Ahmed than what he showed.
Can I interject real quickly? Because
Sure.
we have people on Twitter who are just really quick to jump on, well, what about Ahmed and Achane now? And of course, we'll get to Mike White a little bit later. Here's the thing. Did we see any end arounds call for Xavien Ahmed like we have with Achane? Number two, the one Connor Williams was not in the lineup today.
Correct.
Don't think that Connor Williams' ability to get to the second level, which is kind of significantly better than that of Liam Eichenberg, who overall played a decent game, but he doesn't get out in space like Connor Williams does.
Absolutely.
And against Buffalo, not like the running game was killing it.
Okay, that's all fair and good, and I'm a cheerleader for Xavien because I like guys who earn what they get, and Xavien earned his spot. Now, what he did not maximize the opportunity. He didn't. I expected him to play much better than he played. I'm sorry, 3.8 yards per carry, even with Liam Eichenberg on the ride in the Eichenberg Express, that's not good enough. And that is not going to earn you that number 2 role. Right now, Jeff Wilson, you're up. And love Xavien. But that
again, like I told the guy, and then again we got the smart guys over here in the comments. Yes, I get it. Achane's explosiveness was on another level without question.
There was one run. You're right. You're exactly right. And there was one run I was looking at it, and it might have been one of Xavien's best runs. It was to the left, and he had a lead blocker, and he was one guy away.
Yes.
And he got caught, and I was just like,
no, he got tripped up. I know what
he got tripped up. And I was like, Devon would have housed that. Would have made a house call.
Maybe.
Yeah. But and it was like this much of a second of a difference. And now I start to say, okay, there is a difference. And same plays weren't run, no center, because I mean, you could look at every Devon Achane run, you're going to see Connor Williams 10, 15, 20 yards downfield. And it does not look the same, but it still produced 162 rushing yards. Like,
and gang, by the way,
the best rushing team in the NFL.
Yeah, Omar, I don't think neither of you and I right now would say Ahmed is just as good as Achane. He's not. Okay, but again, before you jump so quickly on Ahmed sucks and all that, give him the same opportunities, and then let's see the comparison. And I'm going to attack the Mike White thing very, very quickly. Yeah, he threw an absolutely butt-ugly pick six where he stared at the receiver. I don't even know who it was. Completely stared at him, threw the ball without much zip on it. And Troy Hill said, thank you very much. I'll take that to the house. Two quick things. Again, you are discrediting and borderline insulting this offense. And Mike McDaniel, Tyreek Hill, the offensive line, if you are to suggest that it completely falls apart if Mike White has to play quarterback for a game. I think that's insulting. It's a discredit to those players. Okay. The pick six notwithstanding, because there was another pick six last week, and spoiler alert, it wasn't thrown by Mike White. Okay. It happens. It was a completely crap throw. Yes, we get it. doesn't mean he's completely useless and he sucks like no quarterback in the history of the NFL has ever sucked. Okay. And yes, Tua's better, obviously. Duh. And yes, the offense is going to operate at a higher level. But again, to me, it's a slap in the face to Mike McDaniel, the scheme, the speed guys, and everybody else. If you say it falls apart if you don't have the quarterback, I'm sorry, I can't with that. Okay.
It doesn't fall apart, but it's certainly not going to look the same. It's not going to look the same.
Again, you don't go from 42 points a game to like 17 points a game. I don't think. Sorry, I'm not buying that.
I really cannot believe they scored 42 points and scored 40. Like, this is still, and this is part of like, they're blowing out teams and playing sloppy ball. And I'm like, this team's on another level. And I was not like ready to say that, but they're really, really good offensively. Now defense is trash.
No, it's not. It wasn't trash after the first two drives. And for me, before I stamp the offense as like historic special, I still need to do it against a team better than Carolina or Denver or New England or the Giants. I mean,
I was looking up some statistics today, and like NFL all-time leading stats, for season. There are 4 teams in NFL history that have 7,000 yards. Correct. The Dolphins are on pace for 8,700 yards. And that's like, that's ridiculous.
Well, that was before today. What's the pace now?
I don't know. I'll look it up. I'll
okay. And again, to me, that's all great and dandy. Again, and I'm not a hater because I have, for some reason, I feel the need to like preface everything I say. It's just a borderline. The Dolphins are a good team. I'm not saying that. I saw somebody on Twitter saying, well, people say the Dolphins are not a good team. No, the Dolphins are a very, very good team.
They are on pace to be a historic offensive team, which is crazy.
Okay, but again, let's do it against a really good team.
Yeah, I'm not arguing against you here. They're on pace for 8,477 yards,
which is completely outrageous.
Which is like obscene.
It is obscene. And they will continue to abuse teams that do not have good defenses because their speed is just that sick. And they scheme guys, I mean, wide open like nobody's business. And then Tua gets them the ball. So, but again, let's see how they do against the Eagles next Sunday night.
Yeah. There was a statistic that I forget who put it out. I think it was Saf who put it out there that Tyreek in 6-game production has the most yardage of any player in NFL history ever. With 814 yards. Really, it should be more than 814 because he's got 14 rushing yards as well.
Oh no, it's completely sick.
And he revealed that to Tyreek, who was like, "That's super dope." And then to Tua, who was like, "What is the?" Tua like needed to know what the yardage is. They are going to set records this year, and if they can stay healthy and keep Tua, 6 sacks all season for Tua. That's
correct. I mean, he didn't get sacked again today. No, Tyreek's got 150 yards in 4 of the 6 games. I mean, that's completely crazy. And yet he's got no shot at the MVP because wide receivers don't get MVP. But he could set, if he gets to 2,000 yards, first receiver in NFL history, and right now he's averaging a touchdown a game. I think he's got 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Completely crazy.
But let's get to the question.
Yeah, go ahead. Daniel Barrios. Thank you, Daniel. Go ahead. This is for you, Omar.
Omar, I saw you blame Liam for batted passes. Yeah, there were 3. Forgive me, but I don't understand how that's on him. Could you elaborate further on that? It's also if a player is jumping in the passing lane, Liam gives up too much penetration, whether it's primarily on pass protection plays. The defensive lineman is into his passing lane, and basically all he's got to do is go like this. Even when a defender is putting their arms up, you're taught to just jab him in the stomach. And with a punch, not a punch, actual punch, but a pass block. And there were 3 batted down balls. Ask me Tell me how many times you've seen in Tua's career as a short NFL quarterback where he's getting balls batted down at the line of scrimmage. That just doesn't happen. And I'm not going to poop on Liam Eichenberg because I think he played a phenomenal game for who he is. So this ride on the Liam Eichenberg Express was not a horrible ride. We did okay. We managed it. In fact, Liam was the only player I went to talk to in the locker room today because, like, he deserves respect for what he's been able to accomplish. And I'm learning center is not an easy job to just, you go in, you play center. It's not an easy job. So props to him for what he's doing and what he achieved and what he accomplished today because he didn't derail the season. Now, I personally think he'll be in there next week against the Philadelphia Eagles. And like it or love it, I understand that the Dolphins are thinking and have been talking about and continue to focus on February. And while I've said that many times in this podcast, and I'm saying it because they're saying it, they talk about February. And for the first time ever this whole season, I was like, you know what? Let me figure out what games are actually played in February. You know what games played in February?
Are you serious? You didn't know that? Are you serious?
No, did not know that. There's only one game played in February.
Yes.
I thought maybe there was the championship round. No, like they're talking about playing in the Super Bowl, which, fundamentally my body just rejects all of that talk when you're talking, because I've covered the Dolphins for 15 years. Like, I'm sorry, it might be like okay for you to swallow it as a fan, but I've my body, like you say Super Bowl, I start to hurl because I've covered the Dolphins. And now I get it. Like, their mentality and their goal is screw everything else. We're doing what we need to do to win the Super Bowl. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like Connor Williams, they don't care about the Eagles. They're trying to get him right for February. And I'm like, my brain does not compute this. Like, I've never covered a team where that's like, they're like, regular season's over there. We'll figure that out.
You're making this simplistic. I don't think it's quite that simple, but yeah, again, it makes more sense to keep your key guys. Don't rush them back. Make sure they're available for the long haul. I don't know. I think
I don't want to beat the Eagles.
Not at the cost of losing Connor Williams for the year if he completely tears a groin. I mean, no.
Okay.
It's not the end all be all game of the season. No. But I hear what you're saying. No, they obviously have designs on a deep run into the playoffs, as well they should. I mean, here's one thing though about the issue of batted passes. Sometimes I don't think that was the case today. I said there was some penetration today. There are times when a pass rusher gets completely stonewalled off the pass rush and then just stops and then throws up his arms. So and that's not on the offensive lineman. In the case today, and I don't know if it was the same defender. It was always on Eichenberg on the batted pass.
It was all three were on Eichenberg.
Okay, and I didn't notice there was some penetration.
And I'd have to go over the game again to see how he performed, but it didn't derail what they were doing offensively. The one thing that
4 yards and 42 points. So
the one thing that Tua did say is, because remember after the Buffalo game, Tua blamed himself for what happened offensively, and that we said it was okay him falling on the sword, but it was really Eichenberg, You can now reading between the lines, Eichenberg wasn't calling the protections out quick enough, and it was hindering Tua's ability to call all of the window dressing stuff. And so now he was just like, call the protections, whether you're right or wrong, we'll fix it. Just call them.
But there was the other factor that you can't discount that's going to be in play again next Sunday night. That's going to make it more difficult for the Dolphin offense. You got that crowd noise you're going to have to deal with, which you obviously don't have here. Saint Eddie, I love you, buddy, but God, drop it with that. Seriously.
Can we
I
stop
mean,
the offense?
drop it with that. I didn't say the offense would look the same. I said it's insulting and a discredit to everybody on offense to suggest it completely falls apart if Mike White has to play quarterback.
It doesn't, but it doesn't look the same. It's not going to look the same.
Tyreek Hill does not get any slower if Mike White's at quarterback. I'm sorry. The outside zone running plays don't get any slower and they don't create any less space if Mike White's at quarterback. Stop. I understand you throw all the flowers you want to it. That's funny.
But it won't look the same. It won't look the same. It won't look the same. Like, because Mike White still had the same plays. Now, obviously, it wasn't the same unit that he was running with. And I believe it was Chris Brooks who was doing like an end around. And I was like, man, that looks slow and sloppy. And so it's not, and Chris Brooks.
That's on Mike White.
No, Chris Brooks
and the end
around play.
The 60-yard touchdown pass to Robbie Chosen. Did that not look like a play that Tua does? I mean, guys, you want to jump on it, that's fine. Okay, if it's going to make everybody happy, I'll go ahead and say it. They're going to completely suck 3 points a game if something happens to Tua. I mean, can't win.
Might be 21.
Can't 21 win. I mean, Jesus.
21 isn't
not enough for me to say the guy's an MVP candidate. One of the leading candidates.
Yes.
Playing great, but
They're
again,
only averaging 37 points a game.
Again, am I seeing something that people are not seeing when I see guys? I mean, completely wide open. I mean, Tyreek after the long touchdown pass, good job by Tua getting it to him. There was another play. The cornerback was so freaked out that he backpedaled like 15 yards away from Tyreek as he just made an out cut for like a stupidly easy like 25-yard completion. That's Tyreek speed creating that play.
But here's the thing. So far it's only been Tyreek and Devon who are just eating ridiculously. And Raheem's doing well.
Mostert's getting popping a big run every game too.
Okay, that's fair.
Can we not just enjoy this offense the way it's completely kicking ass? And can I not be allowed to say that I have confidence that the offense doesn't completely fall apart if Tua's not in the game? If you guys want to disagree, that's fine. I have more faith in this offense than you guys do, obviously. Okay. I'm done with my mini rant.
Tua is, Tua is the catalyst. Tua is like the touchdown pass to Tyreek, and he explained it as, now that he's been giving play calling powers, Mike McDaniel basically gave him a selection of plays on the menu. Is you can go for the first down, or you can go for the jugular and throw the touchdown. You choose, you make the call. And clearly he went with, and it was a check with me situation with Tyreek, and they just saw the coverage that they wanted. It was like, okay, house call. And whether it was hand signals or eye looks, he said that's something that chemistry is built. So even though it's not in the playbook, they just know, and he has the power and ability to do that now. And I don't think you give that to Mike White, just me personally. I mean,
and even if so, again, but I refuse to believe that the offense completely falls apart without QB1. Sorry. It doesn't operate the same way. It's not as good. I refuse to believe it completely falls apart.
Nickname.
Roby, thank you. Tua's live crew. I like that one, actually.
Yeah, Tyreek was wearing some shirt today. I can't remember what it said, but it was another one of those Dolphins made shirts. He's wearing all like new Dolphins garb, like he's testing out some shirts. And it had like the receivers on it. Tua's always the centerpiece. But yeah, Tua's live crew. That's not bad.
No, like the don't blink offense. Sorry, don't like that one. Speaking of Tyreek, I want to make this point. He spoke after the game, said, I'm expecting to get fined for the backflip, grabbing the phone stun he pulled. That's okay. I want to create memories and all that. And in a game like today, when they're clearly, again, they're overmatching their opponent, whatever, 15 yards on the kickoff, not the end of the world. When they play a good team, I really wish that if Tua scores a touchdown, he'd cut that crap out. Don't give a freebie 15 yards to Jalen Hurts or to Patrick Mahomes. Just a suggestion.
Fair and valid criticism. When he scores, we're all looking to see what the entire team does. They certainly work on that. They had some, remember the Titans touchdown score celebration, joint celebration. And Mike McDaniel has said he puts up celebrations in the film review, and they review it. So this is clearly a fun team. They like to have fun. They like to, they work hard, and Mike rewards them by letting them do whatever they want to do when they score. And I don't think he's bothered by the touchdowns. I mean, yes, the fact that you're up big, that probably helps. But yeah, if Tyreek is out there scoring a touchdown and celebrating and drawing a penalty while they're trailing in Philadelphia next week, we probably have a problem or a close game. But there's ways to enjoy touchdowns and celebrations without creating penalties.
Correct. Like I said, and in a game like today, it's not. Here we go. Isaiah Mullins last year with 2 out of 5 games scoring way down. Absolutely. Except we need to mention that they didn't create any turnovers when Tua was out, and they also were without Teron Armstead.
They're not creating any turnovers now.
He's talking about last year when Tua was out. That's the apples to apples comparison. Look at the number of takeaways they created on defense when Tua was out. Okay.
I get what the draft. Go ahead.
Carlos, poop, you discount Tua's processing speed, man. Yeah. He's got great processing speed, no question. Again, and you guys discount the speed on the offense and the motion and all the play calling to a certain degree in my eyes, if you're thinking it completely falls apart without QB1. How about 89 today? Some of his blocks were awesome. Thank you, Shadow Wolf. Yeah, the dude can block. And very interesting that rookie free agent has looks like pretty much supplanted the veteran Tyler Kroft, who they signed in the offseason. Not only that, they elevated from the practice squad Tanner Connor.
That was interesting.
Yeah, who got some garbage time snaps. I know Kroft had some back issue at some point, but I don't recall seeing him on the injury report this week. He's just like buried on the depth chart.
Yeah, but you can't cut him because his contract is guaranteed. But I hear they're very top heavy. They don't have many spots. Like if they have to activate Jeff Wilson, I don't know how they do that. Like who do you cut? Who takes their walking papers? And I don't see this team. This team is like emotionally attached to everybody. So
it doesn't work. Yeah, hate to break it to you, it doesn't work like that because Jeff Wilson is going to take somebody's roster spot. Look where there's some fat to trim.
Yeah, I'm Keon Smith and
Keon Smith's going to go when Armstead comes back.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay. There is some fat to trim, but it's hard to find that fat at the present moment.
No, correct. Bro talk, I'm insulting Tua and saying the offense looks the same. I didn't say it would look the same. I said it would not fall apart. There's a difference. And again, please stop misquoting me, people.
Quote him accurately. Okay.
Disagree with my points all you want. Please do not put words in my mouth that I'm not saying. Found the name, the Miami Sonic Machine, Miami Speed of Sun Machine. Sorry, Malchewick. Not going to cut it.
It's got to be I'm not subject. I'm not, like I said, I'll put it up for.
You're not even bringing that up to Tyreek, are you?
Yeah, that's not going to make the cut. Yeah. I don't think I'll have the opportunity to present him like 10 names. Like and they are so good right now that it would be a shame if you didn't create a name that could last just like the greatest show on turf did.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got to give it some thought, some serious consideration. But clearly do not want to be a Legion.
I don't recall any Chiefs teams having nicknames. I don't recall the 07 Patriots having a nickname. I don't recall the 98 Vikings having a nickname. Those were also like all time.
That's a good one. That Vikings team, yeah, that was a good one. Patriots teams are not going to get a nickname.
Belichick would veto it.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody's not the fun bunch. That's
no, and they're fun to watch and having fun.
Mm-hmm.
How concerned? Thanks, Jay. How concerned are we with the X injury? Given Tom Pelissero's news, do we try to get Jalen Ramsey involved even sooner? Obviously, being fully healthy. Well, yeah, you said the key part there at the end. He's got to be fully healthy. You don't bring him back a millisecond before. He is. How concerned are we with the X injury?
I mean, obviously we know X needs to be healthy to be the player that he is, and he's not having a great season this year. I think a lot of it is scheme and comfort, but that's no excuse why he's still your best cornerback out there. So like you want a Justin Bethel, Eli Apple, like, whoa, buddy, that was I watched that whole situation. I'm thinking to myself, like, goodness gracious, why couldn't Cam Smith get some PT and involved in the fourth quarter? And I don't know. I don't know if he played in the cornerback unit, to be honest.
He did. He was very, very late in the game. He came in as the left corner, I think, when X went out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just something else right there. Like,
no, and that was the book on Eli Apple, because he's had some good games. But the book on him was, up and down and up and down and up and down. And they're not going to cut it, especially next week when they go up against Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. I think they need both of them. Speaking of which, St. Eddie, do you think Apple and Nickerson are vastly better at this point than Cam Smith?
No and no. But they trust Cam. They trust those individuals over Cam. So this is a trust issue with Vic Fangio, and I don't know what Cam Smith's got to do to earn his trust. I mean, just mature to become a young player who shows up on time, shows up for his meetings, knows where his meetings are, passes his tests on game plans and schemes. And a lot of people don't realize this, but they get tests on the game plan and play calls and things like that. And obviously he's not passing them or not doing well enough in order for Vic Fangio to trust him.
Well, Sam Madison's comments Thursday were kind of a little bit revealing also, when he's got to do like the little small details, first in the building, last one to leave, on time at meetings. And you're thinking, whoa, is he not doing those things? I mean, you would think a rookie trying to get playing time,
Yeah. I mean, I've been in the locker room where players are like, yo, we got a meeting, and he doesn't know. But I've seen that happen to veterans. So I couldn't tell you. I don't have no idea what's going on with him. I generally, I'm not. Maybe I will go talk to him this week, just because it's been nearly half a season.
What game was I watching? The defense got smashed on the ground and got sliced up by the slant week in and week out. The only place where the defense held was the score. Last I checked, Carolina didn't score anything on offense after the first two drives. Maybe I was watching the wrong game.
Yeah, they didn't, but I would agree with them.
Bend but don't break.
Screw that.
What they did, bend but don't break.
Screw that.
Held on fourth down. They got some sacks. Christian Wilkins,
108 rushing yards on 25 carries, 4.3 per attempt.
That's not horrible. It's not
good.
Great, but it's not horrible.
All right.
How many total yards did they get? 320 total yards?
You might be. Hold on.
Come on. Grab that game book, page 3.
I don't know what page it's at.
I do. I know exactly what page is it.
296 yards.
296 total yards, and we're going to complain about the defense because it was asked the first two drives.
Fine.
No, not you, Armando. Sorry, bud.
I did the same. I feel the same way Armando feels.
Well,
and
the other team gets paid too. So it's 296 yards. And
hold on. What I don't like about this defense, and hear me out.
Go ahead.
One, they're not getting turnovers, and they were blitzing a little bit more today. So props to you, Vic Fangio. The twists and stunts are there, so that's a step in the right direction. But they're not getting turnovers. They're kind of struggling against the run. Still 180 rushing yards today.
108, not 180. 108, you said.
108, yes. 108. There was a third thing I didn't like about the defense. They just give up ticky-tack stuff. Like, yeah, you can run a slant all day on this defense because they're going to give it to you. And I don't like that. Not to say that, I have a choice in the matter, because I don't.
Okay. Let me check something here. If you give up 108 yards on the ground, you literally would be middle of the pack. That's so terrible. And again, Carolina's first 2 drives, 64 yards, 74 yards. If I do quick math, that's 138, which is almost half, which means they got 250 yards over the final 3 quarters. I mean, we're going to complain about this?
Oh my gosh. We're about 1,000 people watching us live right now.
Nice. I like it.
I feel really honored, and I thank all of you fine folks who are watching, who are participating. There was, before the end of the game, this is the other thing that I don't like about the defense.
Go ahead.
Right now, they look very good when they have a substantial lead and they're able to unleash the hounds and just rush upfield. And that looks good. What do you look like when you're not in that situation, and maybe when you're trailing, or maybe when the score is close or even? I don't like that defense. I like the defense that's hunting, but holy crap. What is MX dollars?
I have no idea. But again, the problem, Omar, is yeah, but that's not their fault. That's not the defense's fault for playing with the lead, because the offense is producing so well.
No. I want them to play with a lead, and that's when I expect them to look like the defense that I would like them to look. I just would like them to look like that all the time. But then again, we've had this discussions. I'm not a passive, take what you bend but don't break. Take what you want as long as I lock you down in the red zone. Like, nah, I'm good. Don't do that. Play the way that you play in the red zone the whole game. Don't give up an inch. And I get it. You're going to get beat from time to time, but I'd rather you do that. I'd rather you get beat being aggressive than be just tentative and keep everything in front of me all game and give up just simple stuff. Like, okay, and at the end of the season, maybe we're going to look back at this statistically in February and say, man, they really went through some growing pains, but they figured it out. And that's the hope. Nobody's mentioning the Jerome Baker injury.
He came back. I mean, unless he left the second time, he came back.
I understand that, but that doesn't mean that it's not something that, Andrew Van Ginkel.
There's a back injury and he came back. If it was serious, to me, you don't come back, but maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, that's fair. Andrew Van Ginkel is an inside linebacker. Does it look the same to you? Does it look desirable? Do you want to have a full 12-game schedule of this?
We got and I'm going to do this because we have praised him left and right, but he got wiped out on the long run that Carolina had. The tight end just absolutely threw him to the ground from an inside linebacker position, I believe. Guillermo, thank you very much. We don't know what MX is, but thank you very much. I still believe a DT injury like maybe Steelers today and how thin we are at linebacker will have the worst defense in the NFL. Nobody could run to us. Would you make a trade for an ILB for a Super Bowl run? If so, who? Dolphins don't have cap space to pick up anybody of consequence. That's the problem. Right, Omar?
I agree. And if I'm trading for something, it would be a real legitimate center, not necessarily an inside linebacker.
Yeah.
Plus, unless it's an inside linebacker who has history and familiarity with Vic Fangio's scheme, I think they can make do with what they have. It's clearly, even Duke Riley, it's clearly these guys don't, I can't say fit there. He just doesn't like any of these linebackers. And I have a hard time believing anybody you trade for, he'd like them either.
I felt David Long today. I thought he actually had a few decent plays, even though I don't necessarily think he's a great player, but I felt him a little bit today. By the way, Sealer came back to the game, so Guillermo, you can.
Yeah, but I do agree with Guillermo's point. Like, bro, but I've said this, and I look like an idiot saying it. You're like one defensive tackle away from falling apart defensively.
Okay. But again, sorry?
Are you not? Are they not?
Well, if the Chiefs lose Chris Jones, it's not the same defense.
Damn, 11 tackles for David Long. All right.
Hey.
11 tackles, 1 quarterback hit.
See, I did watch the game. Chris, unlike somebody who's asking me, wondering whether Chris Draves, thank you. I'm surprised Waddle still chooses to catch the ball with his body and not his hands. He's too good not to improve that. Same issue since Alabama. Here's the thing I'm going to say, and I hope it's not offensive to anybody. I don't think Jaylen Waddle has ever been accused of being a great pass catcher. What he is, he's a speed freak, speed merchant, who creates problems with his speed. Jaylen Waddle is not a great, does not have great hands. He's never had great hands since he got into the NFL. And that's how he knows. I don't remember the last time he ever made like a really, really difficult catch. Am I wrong? Am I wrong in anything I said?
I did not watch closely enough last year to even I didn't even know Jaylen Waddle had these hand issues, had these reception issues, or people are questioning his hands. Didn't know it. And the pass that he dropped today, he nearly had his life taken away from him just because of the contact. People want to say, man, you got to do better. Have you ever been involved in anything like that? Had to catch the ball?
Can I interject real quick?
Yes.
That was a very, very tight window. Waddle got hit right after the ball hit him. There was a defender right in front of him who waved his hand and maybe disrupted his vision, whatever. Having said all that, that was a beautiful throw by Tua. That was the only place he could put it for.
Tua throws some passes, and these aren't like Tannehill passes, because Tannehill nearly got a guy killed today. As they call them, suicide throws.
He's out though. He could be out for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Maybe that impacts them when he'll be. I promise you, he'll be back for the Dolphins game.
Yeah,
Tannehill's revenge.
Can't question that guy's toughness, man. You cannot. Well, he already had his revenge when they played in Tennessee in 2021.
Yes, if Tua needs revenge against a quarterback, you know who it is.
Josh Allen. No, sorry. You mean Tannehill? You mean Tannehill, but it's not.
It's the guy who ended his marriage with Brian Flores and made him curse at Brian Flores.
There you go. It was more the Tennessee defense, actually. Frank Moreno, thank you very much. It's Poop, by the way, with P-O-U-P. When will you believe?
Hey, Poop.
Of Tua, what does he have to prove to you? Let's talk at the end of the season. How's that? Let's talk at the end of the season. What does he have to prove to me? Finish the season strongly. That's the last remaining.
Let's finish the season strongly. We playoff win good.
Yeah.
Or okay.
Or a good performance.
Okay.
I'm not bringing up his December, January stats. You guys can look him up if you want.
Oh, we bringing December into this?
It's not part. Again, Frank's asking me, what does he have to do to prove to me?
He's executing this team like a machine. Stay healthy.
He was last year through 11 games also, and then it went south. I want it not to go south this year.
And that's a running game, baby.
That's going to help. Without question, that's going to help.
Defense hasn't B1. Defense hasn't been what I expected, but they do seem to adjust and tighten as the game progresses. Yeah, because they get a lead. Or am I wrong there? They get a lead.
Part of it. It's partly. They didn't adjust against Buffalo. If we want to get technical about it.
Oh, come on. We do.
What? Because they didn't have a lead.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't adjust against Buffalo because an adjustment would have been to actually put Xavier on Stephon Diggs.
And truth is, they didn't adjust against the Chargers until the very final drive of the game when Vic Fangio decided, let me try some blitzes. Although there had been a blitz before that, the Cater Kohu blitz, which led to a one-play touchdown drive, I want to say. So there were some adjustments, but they were kind of late there.
Will Patterson asks, I get the draft names steal the headlines. The amount of free players contributing is really good. Cater, Zach, Brooks, etc. Is this normal? It's normal for the Dolphins and has been before this regime got here. I mean, you talk that Dolphins, going back to the Devon Best days, Dolphins have always done well at undrafted players. One has always made the team every year I've covered this team. And oftentimes they contribute. Zach was a great find claiming him off the Ravens waiver wire.
Yes, sir.
Brooks, I'm as much as Poop likes him, I think he's a nice player. I don't think he's proven that he's an NFL player.
Hadn't gotten a chance.
Yeah, that's fair.
Had a hell of a run today before he got hurt. That 29-yard run, man, that was impressive.
He is right now averaging 3.9 yards per carry, but no, I'm sorry, that's Ahmad. 6.3 yards per carry, and majority of it is pretty much been in garbage time. So props to him for what he's doing. But I think what I'm learning about this team is that if you practice well, you will play and you'll get something carved out for you and get an opportunity to contribute. And both Mike McDaniels and Tua basically said after the game, and I think Tyreek said it as well, this was our best week of practice. And that's just impressive to hear, because having your best week of practice on a week that you're playing an 0-5 team, that's quite impressive. And Mike McDaniel said some other things that just drew my attention. He loved the fact that they were trailing 14-0. And I know you're probably going to say that's coach speak, or that's what. Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's he going to say? God, it was pathetic how we came out of the gate so flat.
Okay, then no, but he said
it's easy. It's very easy to say after you win 42-21. I'm sorry. I've been around long enough. I know when coaches are.
I apologize. I've never covered a winning team or winning organization, so I don't know what winning organizations say.
I covered Tua back in the day, and I don't know. He wasn't like flowery like that, but I've seen coaches for a long time, and he's not the first one to say, I love the fact that we got down earlier. He got down early in the game. It tested our resolve, and that's what I wanted to see. You're really going to tell me at 14-0 down, he wasn't like, what the hell's going on?
He basically said, I didn't see any panic. I didn't see any guys like getting tight. And Tua said, and Tyreek, I believe, said the same thing. Like, they're like, okay, we're down 14-0. We can get that back.
Of course.
It, quote, it's a journey. It's a journey, the NFL season. Your team has to adjust through injuries and your strengths and your weaknesses. Anytime you can find valuable lessons, it's a residual win. Win, lose, or draw, I'm connected to this team because they found their way to practice throughout the week. And those are two statements there that I really appreciated and enjoyed, because it's not just something that he says after the win. They've said it all throughout the season. Like the universal themes for me is we're playing for February. And that, I apologize for just connecting the dots that there's only one game playing in February. Like, I guess that became code speak for not continuing to mention Super Bowl. They just shifted it to February. Because every time they said Super Bowl, I'd be like, what are you doing? Also, it's not about our opponent, it's about us and how we play and how we practice. They've been universal with that in terms, and even talking this today about what's that smirk on your face?
Every coach says that.
No, like, I know, I get it. I haven't covered many winning teams.
I mean,
this is all foreign to me.
It's about us. I've heard that if I had if I had $1 for every time.
Oh, please. Adam Gates' team never said that.
Omar, here's another one that's brand new to the Dolphins. Actually made this up this year. Next man up. You never heard that before.
I feel attacked right now because that's not fair to me. That's not fair. Adversity creates opportunity. You tell me you ever heard that? Other than from Mike McDaniel?
No, but it's a nice slogan. But I mean, no duh. I mean, if you lose a guy,
come on, no. If it's no duh, everybody would be saying it.
They say next man up. It's an offshoot of next man up. Adversity creates opportunity for the next man up. To me, what stands out this team is they look like they're having fun while they're taking care of their business. Because I spotted Tua. I think it was after the second touchdown that made it 14-0. He's like, he came up to McDaniel and was laughing.
No,
and I was like, it was either 7-0 or 14-0, and he was laughing, joking with McDaniel over there, and it's like they're good on offense. They know they're good on offense, and they're seeing who they're playing. It's like, yeah, we got this. Not
Yeah.
sure exactly that's going to be exactly the same reaction if they fall behind 14-0 against the Eagles. Maybe if it was, it actually would be great, but that's a little bit different of a challenge. Emerson, big up, fellas. Thank you. Enjoy the post show better than anything else out there. You are the man, Emerson. Please tell your friends, tell everybody. Great work. Here's a nickname for you: Miami Mas Rapido Dolphins. No, really, thank you for the compliment, but no.
Mas rápido? No, it just doesn't roll off the tongue like that. I think Tyreek is, and I don't want to speak for Tyreek. Tyreek's looking for something he can market. He's looking for something that's
Soul Runner T-shirts, maybe, right?
That's exactly. He says he's going to make shirts. Like Tyreek's looking for something he can market. Something's going to sell. He's wearing shirts every single day that are Dolphin shirts. So he's clearly testing out the merchandise.
Raphael Hill got fined $10,927 for the peace sign versus the Giants. Will Reek get another one due to the cell phone recording after touchdown? Yes, he will. Yes, he will.
It'll probably double. I don't know about. Yeah, I think the fine, like the escalating fines. Yes,
I don't know if they are escalating or if they go it's just an isolated incident. I don't know, but yeah, absolutely, it's going to go under unsportsmanlike conduct thing.
Yeah, no, it was. They changed the call to like celebrating with a prop or something like that. It was yes.
Let me look at the game book.
Yeah. Yeah, they changed it after the game. They changed it later on. But yeah, I believe it's escalating. I'm not somebody who looks up fines or anything like that, but
yeah, I'm not sure on that one. Let me see what it said here real quick.
And Tua said, I forget what I was going to say. On that touchdown pass to Tyreek, that was a check with me. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Is that what they got? Okay.
Yeah, it was taunting at first, and then they got changed to unsportsmanlike conduct.
Okay. William, thank you very much. Don't play the victim. Don't say Mike White would have had the same game if Tua makes 2 bad passes. You bring it on yourself. Whatever you say, William. You donated to the show. I'm certainly not going to argue with you. Oliver, thank you very much. Just wanted to say thank you for the content. I appreciate it.
I'm trying to think if you bring it on yourself.
McDaniel obviously trying to build Waddle to free up Hill. They are. I have noticed the last 2 games. They are trying to.
Waddle's the top targeted player.
Yeah, the touchdown pass to Waddle. I know you tweeted that Tua could have run. He also had Hill like around the 2-yard line. It was wide open, which actually was an easier throw than going across to Waddle. But I do think they're trying to
keep everybody happy.
Yeah, it's not like Tyreek's not eating.
Yeah, Tyreek is on pace for. I think as long as Tyreek gets his 2,000, he's fine, and wins. Because remember when Tyreek was like, yeah, I'm trying to win a Super Bowl with the Dolphins. Like that's my focus, that's my goal, and everybody was like, ha 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 ha. Well, they're not going to do it without a defense, though. That defense got to show up next week.
It's got to get better. It's absolutely got to get better. Even though I don't think it was bad today, as I said before. We're lucky to have Tua and Waddle pairing. They trust each other. They absolutely trust each other. I think Tua trusts Tyreek too. There's a lot of trust between those 3 guys. Big time.
About 85 today. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm trying to catch up on these comments, and I thank everybody for what they're doing and what they contribute. Florida / okay, let's see what this is. Florida / no. Flash or thunder and lightning.
Thundering, giving credit to it's not a thundering offensive line though. It's more like a mobility offensive line.
Miami Speed Machine, the Aqua Flash. No, it's just gotta. It's not giving me. Sorry, David Rome recording. It's just not. Those all don't just like. It's gotta just come and instantly be yeah.
Bill's fake crowd noise, 117 yards from Tannehill in 2021. Yeah, he really showed us. No, it was a defense that killed the Dolphins that day and at Tennessee. at the end of the 2021 season. It wasn't Tannehill. But should be rooting for the Jets today. Just typing that is hurting my soul. Skyler, that's a good one. They were down 14-6 last I saw. Should we be rooting? No, should not be rooting for the Jets. They play in the AFC. I don't know that it makes a difference if you're playing the Eagles at 6-0 or at 5-1.
True, you're right.
Am I right? I'm right,
yes.
right?
Yes, you're right.
In interconference team, always root for the NFC team.
Tua side. There was a Tua nickname that I liked. Can't remember what it was, but we brought it up on the screen, and I actually liked it. I'll find it. Getting to Timothy Webb. Why did they not play Cam Smith? Well, Timothy, if you haven't checked out, you should always check out Thursday's episode, because Thursday's episode of our podcast always chronicles the grumpiness of Vic Fangio and his curmudgeonous ways. And
I love that.
And he's not into Cam Smith and doesn't think Cam Smith is practicing well enough. And what is, as my partner over here, Alan, asked, what does he have to do? He's knocking on the door. What does he have to do to get in some action? And he basically was like, keep knocking. Like, keep knocking, practice better.
Yeah.
And
that's a great line, too. He's just not that into him. To quote the title of the movie, he's just not into him. Armando, real quickly, giving up over 100 yards to Thielen and a 4.3 yards per carry average and how many missed tackles is good because they only gave up 2 TDs. They played an 0-5 team with a rookie QB.
Did Thielen,
with a rookie QB who also get paid like the Dolphins. And for
Thielen have 115 yards.
What happened?
I didn't know Thielen had 115 yards. Where did he get that?
No. Yeah, he was eating over the middle. Again, they get paid. Bryce Young's the first overall pick. It's not a very good Carolina team. It's not like they can't make plays. And yes, it's fine that they shut him. The beginning completely sucked. After that, they didn't give up an offensive touchdown.
Oh,
what?
Jesus and Mary Chain. I like this name. Symphony of Speed. No?
Symphony of Speed. It's not bad. Not bad. I don't know that it indicates that they're kicking ass more, although
it doesn't give any like Miami landmarkish, like, I don't know. The Rams team didn't give any St. Louis landmarkish stuff either. Zoom Squad, Toon Squad. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me bring in a Zoom Squad or Toon Squad.
No. I'm sorry. No. Max from Montreal. You're not going to go. Max, you're the man. With the RB's injury, would you bring back Myles Gaskin? Is he right now on the Vikings practice squad or is he on their active roster?
That's a poop-hard question. I would think he's on the practice squad.
Let me check real quick.
And
I'll address the question of the bring him back while I look it up.
I don't think so, because you're going to get Jeff Wilson back. You just signed a practice squad player. He's already down here. I definitely wouldn't be trying to sign Myles Gaskin off their practice squad. Now, if he was a free agent, maybe. But
the same different, Omar. I mean, except that you have to keep him on the roster for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
He is on the practice squad.
He does know the offense, but really this is about getting your special teams, getting your defense prepared. The practice squad running back has to get the defense prepared for each week. And,
it comes down to whether you like Jake Funk better than you like Myles Gaskin. But they could have poached Myles Gaskin before if they wanted to, instead of signing Jake Funk. No, they would have had to sign him to the active roster. Never mind. Erase.
No legions. Tyreek said no legions. He does not like legions.
I remember reading that.
Yeah.
No, Max, Myles Gaskin is a nice player, and if it got to a point where,
Number of injuries.
Correct. If you needed absolutely somebody to suit up for a game with guys going to be out 2 to 3 weeks, then maybe they would poach him from the Vikings practice squad.
Timothy Webb, do you think when Jalen Ramsey back, when he's back, is changing or back at change? What?
I'm going to guess you're talking about the defense, how much better it gets when Jalen Ramsey comes back.
I do not think Jalen Ramsey is going to come back until November the 15th. That's my personal opinion. If he practices this week, and I did the math because we were doing the pregame show when all that news came out, and the bye week after the Kansas City week, if you begin his clock now, he could be back for Kansas City, which is at the mid-season point of the year. If you begin his clock later, you'll be wasting it with a bye week. You understand what I'm saying? So, because no matter what, he's going to have, let's say he's back for Kansas City, or he gets an extra week and comes back the week after Kansas City, which I believe is Vegas.
On the 19th, correct.
Look at me. You see how I know that schedule? Look.
How about that?
I put some work in.
Nice.
So I think there's a possibility he's going to come back this week. When I did the math, because you don't want to waste the clock on a bye week. You understand what I'm saying?
Because, well, no, it's a 2 practice week that week. They'll practice usually Wednesday, Thursday.
He's gonna, it's like, so no matter what, you can begin the clock now, or you can wait at any time. The bye week is going to eat up 1 week. So there is no harm in beginning the clock now if you said to yourself, he's 3 weeks away. But, and if he's not close, then you might as well begin the clock Kansas City week, because it gives you time. But no matter what, you understand what I'm saying? The bye week is going to eat up a week. If you don't do it Wednesday, the bye week is going to eat up a week.
No, I understand that. But the other issue also is you can start the clock now, and after 3 weeks, you activate him, but doesn't have to necessarily play that Kansas City game if he's not ready.
Yeah, but you're going to have to create a roster spot for activating him, and this team is
You're going to have to create a roster spot whenever you activate him. It's just
I know, but they're like already crying about like think about the tears they're going to have to shed next week when they got to activate Nick Needham. Oh my God, somebody's actually going to have to be cut and demoted to the practice squad, dude.
When did you start with this kumbaya thing of like they don't want to lose anybody because they all love each other?
On Friday, when Mike McDaniel was like literally crying about having to we don't have any roster spots. Oh my God, we're gonna have to like move on for somebody.
He can say that all he wants, and that again, it's a nice thing for a coach to say that we love everybody, we want to keep everybody. It's a business. And by the way, I'm of the opinion I don't necessarily think it's a slam dunk that Nick Needham gets activated. Especially with Jalen Ramsey back on the horizon.
True, but they wouldn't move him to a position. And I forgot, you don't have to activate him in the 3 weeks. Yeah,
no, they do have to activate him, except that him starting to practice did not count against the 8 designated to return slots that they have. He's different because he was on PUP. So it's not like, because you could say, for example, Jeff Wilson, why would you designate to return if you're not going to activate him? That doesn't apply to Nick Needham.
Ooh, with Jay, if you're gonna need Jeff Wilson and you're gonna need Nick Needham, that's 2 spots you don't have
that you create. You are way more sentimental than I am.
I don't care. I don't care.
Okay, good, because you seem to care a whole lot. And
but where's the spot?
Mike McDaniel doesn't care either deep down. He's trying.
He is everybody's buddy. He wants to be everybody's friend. He doesn't like disappointing anybody. Somebody's gonna get cut.
You know who the last person he wants to disappoint? The man who signs his checks, who would absolutely shower him.
Doing Waddle in his booth. He is over the moon happy.
Who would shower him with lavish gifts, maybe a mansion if he won a Super Bowl. I mean, come on.
Like he tried to pay Brian Flores to tank it.
Exactly. And now to go back the opposite extreme.
Oh man.
Sorry, not buying this whole we don't want to cut anybody because we love everybody. Sorry.
Bro, I bought into it, and I'm looking at the roster like Brandon Peely, man, you might be getting that demotion, bro. Like it's
Dude plays 5 snaps a game. I mean, it's again, maybe I don't know exactly.
he wasn't active this week.
Correct. And when he plays, it's
we clearly know Keon Smith is headed for IR. We also know
no, Keon Smith's heading for the practice squad.
Yeah, headed for practice squad, not IR. My bad.
Maybe Chris Brooks is heading to IR. I don't know. I'm not going to play doctor.
Yeah, but that's another. Yeah.
It didn't necessarily look great. Somebody's asking Walt Aikens. I don't exactly know what that refers to, but we love Walt Aikens, but he's a special teams guy. Shout out to Superstar Needham. Superstar. That's Omar's dude.
We're cool. But if you don't know where that came from, it came from Brian Flores, who's mocking him, calling him a superstar in the game that he actually won for the Dolphins, and we were giving him his praise, and then Brian Flores got all uncomfortable with an undrafted rookie getting praised for delivering a win and mocked him, saying, hell, y'all treating him like he's a superstar. And I was just like, all right, good, cool, good.
But if you remember too, his first training camp, somebody asked about X and having a start. I don't remember exactly the framework of the question, and Flores was very quick to say, no, we don't have star players here. Like, okay, alrighty then. Suicide Squad or
that's not better than the Nas mocking the Jay-Z mocking of Kenny Stills.
Oh yeah. Man.
Which nearly created a riot inside the locker room after practice.
Yeah,
with them blaring Nas music in support of their teammate, who was just mocked by their head coach. God, that guy was like something else.
Yeah. Lawrence, sorry, not feeling Suicide Squad or beach mode. Sorry.
Oh, it was Suicide Squad. I like Suicide Squad.
You like that? Okay.
Yeah, I mean Tyreek might like that. I don't know. So
54 and 99 didn't have one. Didn't have what? 13 didn't have one.
What nicknames?
Is that what it is? Or Super Bowl titles?
Yeah.
Well, oh no. Kelly's like, will you seriously not stop with the lame nicknames? Kelly, people are chiming in with those. Sorry if that bothers you.
Turf runners. I think the nicknames South Beach All-Star. No, come on. Speed gone. But yeah, people are killing it with the nicknames. Circus Disc, South Beach.
Oh, and then Raphael points out to Kelly, Dan the Man. That's right. That was a nickname.
Dan Marino. Okay.
And the Man, yeah. And Jason Taylor's nickname JT, but I don't know if that's a nickname or that's just Poupar is such a contrarian. No, I'm not. Sorry. See what I did there?
You've told that joke before.
Damn it. I'm trying to be
yeah. Did you catch Ross waddling?
The end of it, but it wasn't like it was like a mini waddle.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all they caught. But yeah, there's got to be a camera on the owner's booth at all times because he wasn't in the tunnel. It was just kind of disappointing for me today.
Okay. Sorry, Kelly, we got to do it again. Omar, thank you very much. I have the name, and we'll make great T-shirts. Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, Tyreek, Jaylen Waddle. Yeah, no, that's a no for that's as Randy Jackson would say. That's a no for me, dog.
Yeah, that's a no for me, dog. Dade Blade Runners. I'm like, I don't know, man. I still said I got to put somebody in charge of like monitoring these names so that we can
put Kelly Patterson, our friend, in charge.
And I don't know how I'm gonna feel about bringing it to Tyreek on like Eagles week. He's already hyping up a big matchup with Darius Slay.
Bye week.
That's after Kansas City, bro. I can't wait that long.
Oh, absolutely, you can, dude. He'll be in a light mood.
Tyreek ain't even talking to us on bye week. Like, are you kidding?
Don't deserve a name until they beat a good team.
Oh, wow. Somebody said, yeah, everybody's waiting for us to play a good team. I think it was Tyreek today. Everybody's waiting for us to play and show that like we're legitimate. And I was like, yeah, you're pretty much right. And I don't want to super hype up this Eagles game because one, I think the Eagles and Miami are a bad matchup. And as we've said, going back all week on the podcast, the Eagles are ferocious on defense and offensive line in the trenches. They're just man eaters. And boy, that's going to be a tough task for whoever's on the offensive line. And then defensively, you already know your defensive line ain't got nothing to it, like no bite.
However, I haven't seen if he's back in the game yet, but the Eagles lost Lane Johnson in the first half. Okay. To an ankle injury. Lane Johnson is a dude. He is a dude.
Should have been Miami's draft pick instead of
oh, you know who it was?
Dion Jordan.
Dion Jordan.
Damn,
2013. If you remember that year, and this is, I don't know if it's pure luck, coincidence, or whatever, or good organizations, bad organizations, there were 3 offensive tackles taken among the first 4 picks. It was Eric Fisher, number 1 to KC, Luke Jokel, number 2 to Jacksonville. Then the Dolphins came in with Dion Jordan. Then the Eagles took Lane Johnson, who turned out to be by far the best of the 4.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. And that team is...
that was such a good question right there. I'm glad you brought it up because I was just about to bring it up.
Our friend John. Thank you, John.
Why don't they use 3 down linemen more? It does much better for against the run. I agree with you. I've asked Vic Fangio, and Vic Fangio basically says, well, because teams are making us play in our nickel, and it's 70% of the plays, and that's what we're doing. Okay, so why do you choose to use a light box in your nickel? Because you don't have to. You don't have to. And hey, that's what he wants to do.
The man wants to do what he wants to do. The Eagles are an interesting matchup because the Eagles are kind of well balanced. Like Carolina, I don't know if the Dolphins came in thinking, they'll more a passing team, especially since they have Miles Sanders in the game. The Eagles can pound and ground with the best of them, and they also have Hurts who can throw it to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. So it'll be interesting to see what the Dolphins choose to do defensively.
Who's the most important player for that Eagles game? Who are you putting the sombrero on?
For the Dolphins defense?
Anything. Off defense, offense? I mean, I know you're probably going to say, no. I want to hear what you're saying. I'm not going to even tell you what I think you're going to say.
I'm going to give you one for each. Offensively, it's going to be either Liam or Connor, whoever plays center, because the middle of that Eagles defensive line is just brutal. Although Jalen Carter wasn't playing today.
Yes.
Another one who's a dude. I mean, he's a dude. And on defense, it's the same thing. Because I look at the Eagles, the thing that stands out to me with the Eagles is those 2 lines of scrimmage. They're completely ridiculous. So on the other side, then it becomes Christian Wilkins, Zach Sealer.
Interesting. Funny. We would pick the exact same players.
Oh my Lord.
I mean,
like this.
Yeah, I know. That's why we sit together and practice all these years. I'm looking at that matchup and I'm like, you just don't have what it takes, like in the trenches. And that's a long day. That's a long day for whoever it is. That's going to be a long day. And if you got to make the Eagles one-dimensional, and you have to be able to protect Tua. Like if you can't protect Tua, you have no chance. And I don't know how they're going to be able to protect Tua against the Eagles.
And they get pressure up the middle. That's the thing. And that's something that's more problematic than just having great outside rushers where you can step up in the pocket. Mm-hmm. And if you noted, the pass protection was great today. There was like 1 or 2 plays where there was one play in particular where both Kendall Lamb and Austin Jackson gave a lot of ground, and the 2 outside rushers came in like this.
Eddie asked, did you catch Mostert chewing out Liam? Did I? Did you see that?
I did not see that.
Eddie,
and I also find that maybe a little bit hard to believe. I mean, I'm not doubting you, Eddie, but
Eddie, you got to give me some.
A mellow guy.
Yeah, you got to give me some specifics on like what quarter, like it was. You got to give me some. Hey, text me some specifics, brother, because I got to look for that. And like Liam, God bless him. because
You're a fan now. You have gone from.
I always feel sorry for him, and then I look at the film and like, nah, I'm done with that dude. Can't do it. Won't do it. Can't do it. And then every time I talk to him, it's when I talk to him. Like then when I found out he had broken ribs and he was playing with broken ribs, I was just like, oh, that's I was like, man, I've been too hard. Then this week, talk to him, and he was going through all the struggles that he was going through, and people calling for identifications, and I'm not ready, and I don't know, and I feel uncomfortable, and he's like, hold on, and I'm like, oh,
you know what? I think that's Mila softening you up. I think that's what that is. That's gotta be it.
Because I feel sorry, and then I went to talk like. I'm trying to figure out why am I only talking to Liam in the locker room. There was like a laundry list of defenders over there, and I didn't feel like going and listening to them talk about, oh, we did so well today, 295 yards, when I think your unit sucks.
Okay.
Like, I don't care what you did, your unit sucks.
Okay, Omar, here's the thing. Somebody corrected it. It wasn't Liam, it was Ingold, and I know exactly what he's talking about. What happened, there was a play that was Mostert was running outside, and he kind of had a clear lane, and Ingold kind of moved like in his way, and it kind of bumped him and made
Ingold tackled him. What are you talking about?
He kind of like bumped into him a little bit, and Mostert, I'm sure this was like in jest and all that. Come on.
Yeah. I'm sure Mostert was like, man, I was going to house that.
Exactly. Thanks a lot, Ingold.
Yeah. Come on. Ingold's going to beat himself up.
And then now Toby's saying, no, that was a totally different situation. Okay, then I don't know which one we're talking about here. But by all means, somebody please in the comment put the exact time of the game so when Omar and I rewatch it tomorrow, we can check it. It was on the Pritam Chidori says it was on the second or third drive. It was an outside zone to the right, and Liam missed a block, and Mostert yelled at him.
On the field or on the sidelines?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean. You listen. You know what's up with the Eichenberg Express. You know what time it is.
A whole lot of Liam loving today.
I feel. Hey, he's doing the best he can. Like, let's.
But didn't Dallas Thomas do the best he could also?
Hell no.
Really?
Come on, no. Liam's not Dallas Thomas bad. You didn't have any snapping issues today. None that I saw.
Nope.
There was 3 batted down balls, but Dallas Thomas would be good for like 5 a game. He would kill drives. Don't lie on me. Dallas Thomas would literally have a play that would kill 2 to 3 drives a game. And you're like, goodness gracious. And that's every game. No, he's not Dallas Thomas bad.
Geraldo says second drive in the first quarter on the field. Okay, we'll check it out. Randy, thank you very much. Any updates on the Brooks injury? We discussed that at the very beginning. Mike McDaniel said he didn't have any information.
Yeah.
After the game, it looked to me, based on the television replay, that it's some kind of ankle. The defensive lineman kind of came down with his body, and that thing kind of went the wrong way.
He did not leave the stadium on crutches. He did not leave the stadium. Maybe he left the stadium in a walking boot. I heard Renzo, who's a media relations person, tell him go get his walking boot. Tell him go get his boot. Now, what that meant, I have no idea. Oh, okay. Maybe it was like, okay, go get your boot before you do media. I don't know what it meant. I got myself in trouble. I was filming in the direction of a naked Dolphins player.
Oh,
yeah. But it was Liam's fault, not my fault.
You want to become a movie director or something?
No. And I still got to get to the bottom of Tyreek's like Fu Manchu thing. Tyreek's growing. What is it called when you have this mustache, no beard?
This one, right? That's a Fu Manchu, yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Tyreek's growing a Fu Manchu. I don't know because somebody said it was for Andy Reid. Does Andy Reid have a Fu Manchu?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe
Andy Reid.
Huh?
Why would you do something for Andy Reid? That's not his coach anymore.
But maybe he's impersonating Andy Reid. He's doing it. Come on, Tyreek gets in character.
Well, I need a pillow to put under a shirt or something. Sorry. What, did I say that?
Oh, maybe he's going to be Andy Reid for Christmas.
or Halloween.
For Halloween.
Okay.
There's something behind everything Tyreek does. So we just got to figure out what it is.
Yes.
Every time I've seen Tyreek, he's been wearing Dolphin shirts that the public doesn't have. So let me see if I have the picture of Dolphin shirts.
Ahmed.
Damn.
Hold on one quick second. I'm going to give Eric, if you can get your mom a Celsius from the fridge, buddy. Thank you very much. And her uniform from the dryer, please. My wife's preparing to go to work, so we're trying to help her out.
Eddie is. Oh wow.
What?
Eddie has provided me the play.
Oh, you see it? Okay, well, let me look at other.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I mean, he's angry. I'm trying to see what Liam did. Liam's blocking. Liam's engaged. He's just frustrated. He looks like he's just frustrated, not necessarily at Liam.
Kevin said Brooks was holding his knee.
It was an ankle.
Yeah, correct. I was going to say. Poop multitasking. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, come on, Liam. Okay, I see what it is.
So is it a...
Yeah, Liam's a lead blocker at one of two lead blockers, and they left the defender like it. They both go to the second level and leave the defender in the first level for then did
Mostert absolutely give him crap?
Yeah, Mostert yelled at him. Yeah, Mostert yelled at his direction. I don't know if he was yelled at him, but yeah, you could just Raheem knows this offense better than anybody else on the team. So
no, I like this one.
Okay.
Somebody writes Dallas Thomas was the original booty cheeks. I've been following this team for a long time. There were other booty cheeks before that. I'm not going to name names because that's rude. Liam or Michael Dieter?
Michael. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I like Michael Dieter. He's a good guy. He just didn't pan out.
Liam was clearly better. Liam had a better rookie season. Michael Dieter was horrible his rookie season. And everybody
he was thrown into the lineup. This was, if you remember, it was a 2019 season in which it wasn't exactly conducive for a whole lot of guys to play great.
Yeah, the fact that the coach didn't want to start him got the coach fired. You remember that?
Oh, yeah, and quick, too. I mean, it was like 3 days into training camp.
Yeah. The coach was like, yeah, I'm not starting that guy. And they was like, well, I want you to start that guy. You don't want to start that guy. You're fired. Exactly. And then Flo never really was able to hire another offensive line coach.
Steve Marshall became the one.
But that was only because of Gailey.
Yeah, correct, Chen Gailey.
Yeah, Gailey came with his own staff, which is what Flo needed. Wow. They love the chemistry between you two. Has anyone suggested a show that never ends? Yeah.
Chemistry. I hate Omar. What? Sorry. The show that never ends. Well, when we do a live show, if we got a lot of people watching, we
there are 1,000 people watching.
We tend to keep it going. If there were 7 people watching, I think we'd have ended it a long time ago.
New York City. Oh, Tyreek might like that.
New York City. Oh, that's good.
Tyreek might like that. Hold on.
Who's that from?
New York City. That is from
FPS Bingo.
FPS Bingo.
That is good.
Oh, I think we might have a winner. I'm going to have to present that to Tyreek. I'm writing it down right now. That's a good one. He's going to like that.
Oh, by the way, we have not mentioned the HN report also from Tom Pelissero that he's going to miss.
Come on, man.
Report. He's going to miss the 4 games and be back after.
Come on, bro. For real?
What? We try to be thorough here, so I'm mentioning it because we haven't brought it up yet.
How do you know a guy's only going to miss 3 more weeks?
Based on the diagnosis. Dude, come on.
Please. And he's going to be able to begin practicing. And so let me ask you a question. How many players have returned the week they began practicing for the Miami Dolphins? 0.
So far, yes. It's not like I will. Don't make me go through the archives from last year and have to double check it. I don't remember.
No. He's not. Listen, that was the biggest. It's anyway. Let me not speak on
No,
this.
but look at this over here. Now we have somebody saying we have great chemistry, and then we have somebody saying I love to steal your joy. Do you feel like I steal your joy, Omar?
You love to correct me, but that's been.
I'm an editor by heart. I apologize.
Yeah, that's been a 10-year thing, and I don't even care. Like I don't even look stuff up. I just be like, I say it and what I think, and I know Alan's gonna go check it. Like it's his nature.
I was a copy editor. I've been like a writer and copy editor for a long time, and dude, I'm gonna look at a box of cereal, and if I see a typo in the box of cereal, it's gonna drive me nuts.
Yeah,
I apologize. I can't help it. Michael Agnew. Oh, that's a blast from the past.
Wow.
Michael Morby.
Michael Agnew. That was a bad draft pick.
Yes, it was. Dion Jordan was the worst pick ever. For the Dolphins or on the NFL? Because we're on the NFL, I might make the argument for Jamarcus Russell.
Dion Jordan had issues outside of football that maybe if you had thoroughly done his background check, a mother with substance abuse. One, I don't know if I draft a player whose parent has substance abuse issues unless they tell me, like, because of how I grew up or the experiences I had, I've never touched a drink, never touched drugs. And even then, if they tell me that, I'm not sure I'd necessarily believe them. But I do know people whose parents have had substance abuse issues and they won't touch anything that's addictive. And I personally have an addictive personality, and literally I try to, like, I stay away from casinos. I can walk through a casino and I'm not putting no money down. And even if you start betting, I'm very uncomfortable. Just because.
No, I hear you. But is he the worst? Yeah, probably, I would think. I had to put this one up. It's Tyreek and the Geek. That's funny.
you know, too, and I'm not gonna like you laughing at that.
I'm gonna guess the Geek refers to Mike McDaniel, not Tua.
Oh, okay, all right, okay, my bad. I apologize.
Yeah, no.
You're like, no.
Don't get me into more trouble than I already am.
Do we resign Wilkins or let him? Oh yeah, he got some sacks today, huh?
Two of them.
What are we at the total at now?
What's he up to? 3.5? Yeah, 3.5.
All right.
He's already approaching his career high is 4.5.
3.5 more to go. And we be show me the money.
7 sacks is the number.
Yeah. 7 sacks means I'm a sack daddy.
This is fair right here.
Has to include the name Roasted Nuts, and I like your contributions every week. Roasted Nuts. The name has to include the whole offense, not just 3 players. And I don't disagree with you. I'm going to write that down for consideration for Tyreek. Which, who knows if Tyreek is even going to participate in this?
Here's another one that might be a little bit too Tyreek centric, but it's actually not bad. Tyreek's Freaks. It's got nice rhyming. Well, no.
I mean, it has to be everybody, and I think it has to have a lasting. Like, the whole point of this is you got to be able to say it like the what's the turf people again?
Greatest show on turf.
The greatest show on turf. You think about that, and you say instantly the Rams. And I get it. The Chiefs never had a name. The Vikings never had a name, which is probably why you never think about the Vikings anymore. And that was one of the best offensives I've ever seen. But
it was. Yeah. Miami's worst draft pick. I'm stuck on John Bosa from Carl Hurd. And John Bosa blew out his knee like in his first or second training camp. That's not fair. That's like the people dumping on Yatil Green when he tore an ACL, came back the next year, tore the other ACL or the same ACL again. You can't. What? Why are you laughing, Omar?
Because that was my first day as an intern with the Sun Sentinel, the day he tore his ACL.
John Bosa.
No. Green.
Teal Green. Okay.
And I always share that. That's one of my favorite stories because one, I never knew Dan Marino cursed that much. And that was when literally we were allowed to be on the field during practice and could hear everything. And literally, imagine me, 20-year-old pup reporter, and hearing Dan Marino for the first time, and every fourth word is an F word, and I remember him. He cursed out Util Green and basically said, "If you drop a pass from me one more time, I'm never going to throw to you ever again." And literally, we're there. We hear this. He says, "If you drop one more effing pass that I throw to you one more effing time, I'm never going to effing throw a ball to you effing again." And literally, Util goes out wide, runs his route. Not Tua. Dan Marino throws the ball like 50 yards downfield. He goes to catch it, falls down, doesn't catch it, torn ACL. And this is like my first day there, like ever. Like I was like, holy crap, I'm addicted.
Didn't have to hear Marino bitch him out after that though.
Yeah. And that was when I realized, like, man, Marino was abusive. Like, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody knew that. I didn't know that. They don't tell you that.
No, well, you could see him at times in the huddle, like getting in people's faces, even before you actually are out there. Carlos came up with a good one, Jamar Fletcher, and that's up there for, to me, the reason. Hold on, I'll give you the reasons. Number one, this was a zone corner from college coming to a team playing press that already had Patrick Surtain and Sam Madison. Number one. Number two, they picked him 5 picks before Drew Brees.
And not only that, but didn't they have Buchanan still on the team?
Who?
Ray Buchanan. Not Ray Buchanan. The cornerback.
Philip Buchanan?
Buckley.
Good question. 14-12 Eagles with 45 seconds left in the third quarter.
Over the Jets?
Yep.
Damn. Jets is a little spunky.
Jets are not. The Jets, if they get any kind of quarterbacking, the Jets are going to be a problem. Just like, remember I told you about Cleveland's defense? Cleveland's defense is no joke. They shut down the 49ers, although the 49ers would have won if their kicker could make a 41-yard field goal.
How do you feel about Vroom City?
Vroom City? No. T-Buck was in New England in 2001. That wasn't he came back to the Dolphins in 2003.
Mm-hmm.
Did not happen. No. Sorry, Elamite. I'm the Vroom City. Vontae Davis. Vontae Davis was a good player. He just had some.
And then they get a first-round pick for him?
Nope. They got a second and a
second and like a fifth.
Correct. And he became a Pro Bowl player with the Colts. But I wouldn't call him like an all-timer draft bust.
Vontae was just a little too immature.
Yeah. Yes, he was. But still, I still will maintain greatest tackling cornerback the Dolphins I've seen with the Dolphins, and Gator Co, who is close to that. And he could cover too. I mean, he just didn't realize his full potential until he went to the Colts. And then ended his career at halftime when he was playing with Buffalo. Literally got up and left at halftime of the opener.
I've heard that story from Stephon Diggs, who was on that team. And it was like, yeah, he didn't want to. He just like, I've heard that story from so many people, so many players, and they're just like, yeah, Vontae just didn't want to be there. And
correct.
Yeah. And when you're done, you're done. You're done.
Well, it'd be nice to kind of know that before John Avery because of who we left Randy Moss. Except they made the trade to move down before they knew Randy Moss would be there. Alfonso Highsmith, I'm going to assume you mean Alonzo Highsmith, who the Dolphins never drafted, and it was a very serviceable running back in the NFL. So no on that one.
I don't know. When did this turn into who was the worst draft pick in Dolphins history?
I don't know. It's a very good question.
Dave Winters.
Do we need to wrap it up? Should we wrap it up if we're getting to this?
Yes, I would believe so. I would like to very much. I appreciate everybody who's been here. I appreciate everybody who's supported the show. Hopefully we'll be ready to roll out our new look. We're looking at some of the stuff now, and hopefully it gets sexier. So thank you for participating. Fins are 5-1. They're on pace to have a record-setting offense still. And obviously, hopefully the defense can get their act together. I know they had 295 yards. What is it today?
Carolina?
Yeah.
I think that's what you said, yeah.
And that's pretty impressive. I cannot poo-poo that. 296 yards.
Yep.
296 yards. It'll be interesting to see 5 of 5 on the red zone.
For the what, offensively?
Yep.
That's almost 100%.
Yep.
I'm going to echo what Omar said. Thanks, everyone, for watching, participating, even those who are giving me crap.
Miami Fun Bunch. You like that?
No. Because there was a team that was nicknamed the Fun Bunch. I believe I want to say, who was the Fun Bunch? That was in the 80s. For some reason, I have Washington in my head. Maybe their group of wide receivers with Gary Clark. Oh, I can't remember the other two, but I believe they were called the Fun Bunch. So it would be plagiarism.
Gotcha. No. Damn, this really did become who is the worst draft pick in Dolphins history. Come on.
Oh, and somebody pointed out it started because I was talking about Lane Johnson and being picked right after Dion Jordan.
People are like, how late are you at the stadium? Reporters are here all the time at 7:00. The staff is still here. I'm watching people clean up the stadium. I've grown. My first job was here. I used to clean up the stadium and do all kinds of crap here. So I'm trust me, it's been late. My dream as a kid was to work the overnight crew that changed the field. I still probably would want to do that. But the field doesn't change anymore. Like it used to be, you have to change from a football to. Remember, we used to watch when it changed from a football stadium to a baseball stadium while we worked.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hated that dirt infield, and I know one certain former Dolphin kicker who hated it as well.
Olinde Mari,
very good. Who was actually a great kicker, but he did not. Okay, I would be remiss. I don't want to miss you out. AI 24 greatest show on surf or motion in the ocean. I think those have been suggested before, and they were dismissed. I don't want to ignore you.
He doesn't want anything that's already been used, like Greatest Show or Legion of whatever. So, New
Yak City is not bad.
Yak City is not bad. New Yak City, yes, that's what it was. He might like that because he already looks like what's his name from New Jack City?
Wesley Snipes.
Yes, he already looks like Wesley Snipes. So
interesting. How about that? Combination Wesley Snipes, Kevin Hart, a little bit. No?
Okay, I can see it. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. All righty. Again, thanks everyone for watching, participating, and all that. Please
share, subscribe. We will be back tomorrow evening after coach's availability and do what we do all week, and you know how we do it.
Correct. And then we'll let you know when we find a new home for the audio podcast. In the meantime, it's going to be YouTube only. Hopefully that situation gets resolved sooner rather than later. In the meantime, again,
I might like being a free agent.
Show me the money. Again, to wrap up, Dolphins 42, Panthers 21. Dolphins at 5-1, tied with the Kansas City Chiefs for the best record in the AFC. Good stuff.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.